Early morning.
Thank you very much, everybody. We'll get this going. We have Ollie Smith, Javan Sebastian, and Pieter de Villiers. If you could put your hand up if you have a question, and we'll get to you as quickly as possible. Who would like to start? Thank you.
Hi, Ollie. How the guys found Lille, another new venue for you? How have you found the city since you got here?
We only got here sort of yesterday afternoon, but no, it's good so far. It was quite nice to get off the plane, and it was maybe more weather like we were used to at home. When we got on the plane at Nice, it was roasting, and then got off here, and it was a bit breezy and cloudy, so it's quite nice.
How has the preparation been? This is a game that Scotland are expected to win and win well. How do you stop the thoughts wandering to what's coming next week?
I think most of the focus this week's been on us. Just sticking to our processes and doing the simple things well will allow us to, create opportunities and score the points that we need to score in order to beat Romania. We know it's not going to be a pushover, but what we do on and off the ball is going to give us the best opportunity to win.
We know you need the bonus point, but how important is it to really go out and get that attack firing and on point? You scored 7 tries against Tonga, but you left plenty more out there. How important is it to get that all on point ahead of next week?
Yeah, that's been a big talking point this week, is how many opportunities we left out there. And like I say, we're just going to focus on the next job. So whether that be we've just scored or we've just conceded or given away a penalty, it's what's coming next. We're not thinking too far down the line. We're not going out trying to score tries in the first phase. We're gonna work for them, and maybe the opportunity will be right in front of us, but we're going to have to work quite hard to get it. So.
Thank you. Just at the front.
Ollie, Gregor talks about the energy levels from the amount of changes, the guys who are getting their chances in this game. Can you just describe to me what the feeling's like, knowing that you're being handed the number 15 jersey and you're going to be starting a World Cup match?
Yeah, no, it's pretty special. To even be involved in the World Cup, is really exciting. And to get the opportunity given to me by Gregor and the coaches to start is pretty special. One I'm really looking forward to as well. Just looking forward to the game and trying to impose myself as much as possible.
Javan, I guess the same for you. What does it mean to you to be starting in the World Cup?
Yeah, I was a bit overwhelmed when Gregor named me as starting tight head, but I think we've all trained really hard and we've been putting our hands up for selection since the start of the camp. So, yeah, I'm chuffed.
Gregor has singled you out as for the levels that you bring in training, and you're up part of the Mavericks. You're someone that has to really help the guys prepare. How do you approach that? How do you approach training? How do you approach your task that's ahead of you to try and get into this team?
I just think you got to take week by week and then just train as hard as you can each training session, and hopefully that's enough then by the time the weekend comes for selection. And then if not, you carry on going and try to do the best you can for the team.
Fantastic. Thank you. Just on the left here.
Hi, Javan. Congratulations on your first World Cup start. Did you ever think this moment would come for you?
No, not really, no. I was quite surprised to even be selected in the World Cup. Like Ollie said, it's a massive achievement to be selected in any squad. So to get a starting place is pretty surreal.
How would you reflect on the way your career's gone since you came into rugby with Scarlets?
It's been a roller coaster. It's been ups and downs. I had a season out and then started every game for one season and then propelled from there. So yeah, it's been a roller coaster.
Obviously, you've spoken previously about your background as a butcher. I mean, take us back. When were you a butcher? How long were you a butcher? And could you ever envisage that you'd one day be playing at a World Cup?
Yeah, no, that was a dark time. So it was after I left Glasgow, when I signed for them for a year, I went back home to have my firstborn. I took a year out of rugby and then didn't really end up having a job. So I applied to be a butcher and play semi-pro. I was there for about 2 months. Couldn't hack it any longer than that. Yeah, it was dark. It's not a nice place.
What year was that?
I think it was 2016-17, or the end of 2016.
So you thought your rugby career was, your professional rugby career was
pretty much
fizzling out?
over, yeah. So I just took a year out to reflect, get back to normal life, and then thought normal life's not for me. Let's try play rugby again.
Was that a bit of a reality check then, going and getting a job like that and realising actually this is not what I want to do?
Yeah, it made me open my eyes to what I could potentially do. So, like being a butcher, being any normal job is quite tough. I'm not saying rugby player isn't tough, but yeah, the real world's scary.
And what changed for you after that to make you get back to a level where you could force your way into the Scotland team?
I think family, mostly, my family. I got 4 kids, so push for places just for them and my partner, just try and make them proud.
Thank you. On the right.
Just a question for Peter. Peter, from what we've seen from Romania so far, they've had 2 tough games against Ireland and South Africa, 2 heavy defeats. From a coaching point of view, what do we expect from them?
I think, as Ollie mentioned, it's important for us to do the things we want to do well to be good on them for 80 minutes. Romania's always been a team that's tough up front. They're physical. They like the wrestling part of the game, and that's where things starts for us in the pack. So we need to be strong on those points and then continue to do them well. Not have any softer moments, and make sure that we stay on top of our process throughout the game.
Given that it's a game that Scotland will be expected to win and win well, is complacency the biggest danger here for Scotland?
Yeah, we've not thought of that. We'd like to do the things that we concentrate on 100% for 80 minutes. And a lot of the boys starting this weekend have not had starts yet, and they're all very excited to get going. And I think starting in a World Cup is such a special moment. We've been training for months and months on end. Now guys like Javan is really chomping at the bit to go and show and get tries going. With all respect for the Romanian team as well, as I said, we'll be strong and tough up front, but we want to have that pleasure of scoring tries whilst respecting the opposition.
Thank you. Yep, just at the front here. And the second mic can just go behind. Thanks.
Ollie, your dad and the big group of the fans are going up to the First World War graves on Sunday, I think. You're linked with Pierre-Mauroy. Is that something that you and the family have looked into, and does it add anything to sort of specialness of this weekend?
If I'm honest, it's more something that Dad's probably looked into. He spends the time doing the family tree, but it is really cool. It's something that I wasn't aware of until only recently, and to have those kind of connections, to such an important person like Pierre-Mauroy is pretty special. Unfortunately, I won't get the chance to go up and see the memorial, but I'm sure Dad will send me photos and stuff, so it's pretty cool.
One for Javan, just following on about the question about the Romanian scrum, that's always been a kind of big focal point from them. What have you seen looking at that set piece in preparation that you're going to have to counter tomorrow?
I think, like any scrum in the World Cup, they're going to be quite heavy, quite aggressive. So I think, like the boys have said, we're going to focus more on ourselves and try and pose our game on them. Try not to get into a dogfight with them. So
I think we'll go. Yeah. Perfect, thank you.
Hey, Javan. Just to go back, when you were playing part-time, was that Carmarthen Quins?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Give us an idea of the sort of places you were playing at during that time, and also, was there an outside influence, someone else who said to you, come on, you've got to get back into, you can do this in pro rugby?
Semi-pro down in Wales is pretty dark. You go to places like Neath, Cross Keys away, when it's raining, 7 o'clock at night, and pitches are like that deep in mud. It's not a nice place to play. And then, the coach at the time was, I think, Craig Evans and Richard Kelly. They really pushed me on to try go for more than what I was doing at the moment. So I think Rich Kelly was part of the Scarlets at the time as I think he was like a line-out coach or something. So he really tried pushing me to go for it.
And with you moving to Edinburgh for the forthcoming season, how much do you see this as your big chance to have a big finish to your pro career?
Yeah, it's just another stepping stone where I wanted to project to the next level. So when joining up with Edinburgh, I think they've got a pretty strong pack. So trying to play some expansive rugby within that pack will benefit me.
Thank you. At the front.
Hi, Javan. Sorry, it's all you at the moment. When you came up to Edinburgh, you wouldn't have played against these guys at age grade and coming through like Cam Redpath. Scotland. How tough was it coming into that environment as a guy that probably was coming to completely cold?
Yeah, I wasn't scared. I was more excited than anything. It's like new challenge, facing people you've never played against. You don't know what they're going to do, so you've always got to be on your toes. Yeah, it was exciting.
And Peter, he's sitting right next to you, so maybe. But, you know, what can you say about Javan? You know, man after your own heart.
Yeah, no,
front
very
row, what he's brought to this since he's come in particular this summer.
Yeah, no. Firstly, well-deserved start. He's had a great preparation period, whether it be off-field, very well respected within the group, and have got good connections with all the players. And then on-field, set-piece-wise, scrum-wise, I think he's one of the best scrummaging tight heads out there. And you can ask any front row player; they'll always back Javan to pack down in a scrum. And then looking ahead to the rest of the season, playing at Edinburgh, I think it'll be good for him to evolve with some of these fellow national teammates. And we're very happy to have him closer to home. Looking forward to seeing him grow this season.
Fantastic. Any more questions from the floor before we wrap? No, we'll end it there. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Cheers.